All right. Now let's just let people know we live. Time to share. All right. Okay. All right. Just spread the word. Give people a few minutes to get in here. Hey, yo, hey, Instagram, calm down. Sheesh. All right. All right. People tricking it in. Howdy. Hey, BBL Dashy in the building. What's going on? I see people trickling in, just spreading the word that we are doing this. If you made it here, thank you. Say what's up in the chat. Dash says you know it. Just spreading the word. Dash, you know what I mean? Feel free to send out the live link. Let the squad know we doing this. Just spreading the word. Just spreading the word. All right. See more. Hey, what's up, Naj? I just sent the text too. Good timing. David, you. What up, Dave? Look at the usual suspects. Look at us, Dash. We got them coming in consistently. We know who our squad is. You know what I'm saying? People came in right on time, 2 days in a row. Man, I appreciate y'all. I truly do. Just sending out the messages, giving people a couple of minutes before we get the show started. This is going to be a wild one today because some people are wilding out, and so we're gonna definitely. Oh, Dash said, "What up, everybody?" There's Dash in the chat saying, "What up?" Nosh said, "Hey, hey." Wish there was a faster way to message everybody and they mamas to let them know that you live. I'm gonna have to start doing like the YouTubers and say, hit the notification bell. David says, hey, what's good, peoples? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna give people a few more minutes, and then we starting. It's 7:38. We're gonna give them maybe 2, 3 more minutes, and then we getting it started because the show must begin. For those who are here, thank you. I appreciate you. We're gonna have some fun today. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. In the meantime, how y'all feeling? How are y'all on this rainy day? You know, woke up to a lots of rain out there. How y'all feeling on this rainy day? Ooh, and what's your favorite rainy day activity? Y'all could say whatever. You're in the chat. YouTube don't even see it or censor it, so you could be 100% honest. This rain is trash, David says. Yeah. David's fed up with the rain. Oh man, too funny. No, nobody else got no thoughts on the rain. Nobody got no favorite rain activities. I'll share with y'all. Naj said it feels like it's March again. Yeah, the rain has not gone away. It's like April didn't rain enough. So May's like, hey man, I'm gonna just keep this rain coming. Yeah, I ain't get enough. You know what I'm saying? On a rainy day, I like to one, not go to work. Oh, Dave beat me to it. All right, Dave says listen to music or watch my favorite movie. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, I like to call out of work. You know what I'm saying? A good rainy day starts with no work. Okay. Then I like to be right on this couch. You know what I'm saying? With the lights off, a good movie on, and you gotta have some popcorn. Gotta have some popcorn. And if you got something to cuddle up with, it's even betterer, as Nori would say. Betterer. Nori says shit like that. All right. That's that. Let's get this show started. Send out this last message. And then we're going to start Weeknights Live. Weeknights Live, ladies and gentlemen. All right, got a little text message back. Bam. Nobody else got no activities they want to share about the rain, huh? That's all right. I ain't mad at y'all. No worries. Oh, not YouTube telling me that Weeknights is live. I'm well aware. Thank you, YouTube. That is hilarious. All right, Dash says, I'm on the donut pillow trying to heal, but on a rainy day, I'm with y'all. I like a good show or a movie and some good food. Also, board games. Okay, okay. All right. I got y'all. All right, let's get this show started. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Weeknights Live. I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also rear view mirror, ring light in effect. And my co-host Dash is not here on video, but she is in the chat. And so BBL Dashy is here via the chat. And we're gonna get this show started. I also just want to say I really don't like the way this looks. Like I got all these cool shirts, and y'all could only see a little itty bitty bit of my shirt. It's like, come on, man. What's the point of having cool shirts if I can't show them off? You know what I'm saying? Got to find a way to lower this thing. But anyway, that's just a little aside. Let's get this started. So I know we spoke about the AMAs yesterday, but man, we forgot an important piece of the AMAs. We forgot something that needs to be discussed. And so we are going back to the AMAs for a moment to speak about an icon who received the Icon Award. And that is, you guessed it, Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson received the Icon Award at the AMAs this weekend. And you bet, you know, everybody is on socials, including Janet Jackson. And I heard she said something wild, and I didn't believe it. But I found it right on her Instagram. And so I want y'all to hear this straight from the horse's mouth, as the old folks say. And so here y'all go. This is Janet Jackson accepting the Icon Award. Oh, perfect timing, Kia. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is Janet Jackson receiving the Icon Award at the AMAs. Listen to what Janet Jackson had to say straight out the horse's mouth.
I love you too. I love you so much. I am so honored. I'm so grateful. Um, I mean, no disrespect in any way, but I don't consider myself an icon in any way, but
Oh,
I
Instagram.
don't consider myself an icon.
Now, I just want to pause it for 1 second. I thought that was a great start to say that she doesn't consider herself an icon. She's being very humble from the start. I said, all right, Janet, starting off humble. I like that. Because a lot of people get up there and they be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should have been gave me this award. I should have had this award 20 years ago. Right. Dash, you see Dash, no, leading with humility. That's right. That's why you need to be here, co-host. And I thought this was a great start. I said, yeah, Janet, talk to him. And then look what Janet said.
My family, myself, our dream was it wasn't ever to be famous.
Hold on, what? What'd you say? Wait, what? Huh? Huh? Yeah? Your family's dream was never to be famous? Y'all never wanted to be famous? Didn't we all see Joe Jackson whooping their ass on docs and TV movies and wasn't that referenced in all the videos? You're gonna get your ass kicked until you get this choreography right, until you hit these notes right. What was Joe Jackson doing? Yeah, I think he was just teaching you discipline. Of course, your family wanted to be famous. What the hell are you talking about, Janet Jackson? You know what? I usually am not prepared, but because I know that I had to do this alone on camera, y'all are with me in the chat, but alone on camera, I came prepared. And I'm glad Key is here because I like to call cap. I call cap on Janet Jackson and the Jackson family not wanting to be famous. You didn't want to be famous? Of course you niggas wanted to be famous. The Jackson 5 wanted to be famous. Michael Jackson wanted to be famous. You wanted to be famous. What the hell are you talking about? She goes on to say we just had a love of music and dancing and performing. No shit. Because that love was beaten into you. What the hell are you talking about? I call cap. In the words of Joe Budden, I call cappuccino. Now I make sure to have my one cap with me here today. This is not an ad. Kia did not pay me, but this is cap. What in the hell is Janet Jackson talking about? I just want y'all to hear it one more again for those in the back who maybe missed it.
In any way, but I don't consider myself an icon.
All right. That was good.
My family, myself, our dream was to, it wasn't ever to be famous.
Huh? Am I the only one bugging here? Y'all are in the chat. Y'all can let me know if I'm off. I mean, what is she talking about? Dash says Joe absolutely knew what he was doing. LOL. Yeah, like he was beating the famous into them. They've been discussed this for years. I mean, I was a kid and knew this. How Janet don't know? Or she just believed that we're stupid enough to believe this. Somebody help me out. I'm gonna give y'all a slice more, but just what are we doing here?
That's, we weren't raised like that. We always had a special love for music, dancing, and singing, and fame came with the result of hard work and dedication.
Word. That's how it came. Hard work and dedication. It wasn't Joe Jackson giving y'all the latest and the greatest, giving y'all a two-piece and a biscuit combo. That's not what it was. Dash says Janet just be saying stuff. Listen, let me be clear because they love to chew me up in the comments. Not in the chat here when this goes out into the world. They love to talk to me in the comments. So let me just tell y'all something before the comments get there. Why is she talking so coded? I don't know. That's a good question, Nash. But what I do know is Janet Jackson is an icon. Janet Jackson still is a sex symbol. Janet Jackson music from the 80s still will get you on the dance floor doing your best Janet Jackson impression, your best two-step, and feeling real good on the inside. And those are all beautiful things. I'll take it further. Janet Jackson, one of the sexiest senior citizens on the planet. Hey, I hope one day I could be as sexy as Janet Jackson because Janet Jackson got the moves like Jagger and the body of who knows. I mean, a great body who we've seen her dance all over the stage and express her freakiness through lyrics and dance. We didn't see Janet Jackson tie fans up on the stage and grind all over them. Man, really cool stuff, really great stuff if you into that, and stuff that most senior citizens can't even do. I hope one day to be as limber and sexy as Janet Jackson. So I have no beef with Janet Jackson. I'm not a Janet Jackson hater, quite the opposite. A Janet Jackson admirer. But Janet, what in the hell are you talking about? No, Janet, no. It was not just a product of hard work. It was not the byproduct of y'all being dedicated. No, it was your father molding you. It was your father grooming you, not in a sexual way, but preparing you for the industry he was dead set on y'all being in. That he was dead set on y'all mastering. Your dad had a plan, much like the Serena Williams sisters' dad had a plan. Two very different ways of going about it, but this was a man with a plan. And that's why y'all are famous. Because he was relentless in making sure that y'all got these things accomplished by hook or by crook, whether you liked it or not. That's why y'all are famous. Go to the chat here. Dave says, I think she's talking about her young self that was doing stuff to not get beat. I think the love came later. Dash says, also, two things can be true. They definitely worked hard for it, but they also set out to become famous, even if the kids didn't want that. Yeah, okay, yes. Let me first respond to Dave. Dave, she said not only herself, but her family. And what's interesting to me is if she just said herself, maybe we can have a conversation. Maybe we can have a conversation if Janet Jackson said, I never really wanted this, but I grew up and watched my brothers and had an admiration for what they were doing and said, hey man, I got a little tune in me too. Then maybe we could have had a conversation. But that's not what Janet said. Janet said, me and my family, all of us, la familia entera. That's what she said. All right. Let's go to the chat here. Oh, and Dash, yes, absolutely. Two things can be true. Yeah, your family may not have planned it the way your dad did, but one, dad is the head of the family, and two, dad guided y'all to a very specific place. Totally agree there. Naj says, I didn't catch the acceptance speech. So far, sounds like she's accepting an award, but doesn't agree with what the award represents. Okay. Did she want to attend the event? Good question. I don't know. I would like to call Janet Jackson. If any of you have her number, please slide it this way because I have questions. Uh, Lots of questions. And, you know, it wouldn't hurt to have Janet Jackson's number, but I would love to ask her lots of questions. It does seem awkward the way that this speech went on. And there's more. I encourage you to go listen to it if you want to hear the full speech. I will not play any more. I'm going to stop it there. I know that's unfair, but such is life. So yeah, that's what Janet Jackson said. I will not play the rest of the speech, but it is on her Instagram. Y'all could go check it out. Uh, the whole show, okay, Dad says to Naj, the whole show was weird. SZA couldn't even remember if she had been there before or not. She said this on stage. Ooh, SZA, come on, girl. Honestly, think the AMA should go away now. Yeah, it's like, yo, what's going on over there? And we didn't even talk about how J Lo hosted it, and I hear she performed "Not Like Us." Yes, J Lo performed a version of "Not Like Us." Yes, indeed, that did take place. That says that we won't. Right. All right. So the next thing I cannot play for y'all, but I'm gonna try to find the lyrics to read them for y'all. Busta Rhymes did something I think is really interesting. Uh, I'm trying to find it here. Nash says, "Yo, were they high?" The red carpet is a clown show, and I see some of the best acting. Might I add? Oh man, that is hilarious. Oh yeah. I see people reacting to J Lo doing "Not Like Us." Yes, she did. All right, so uh no, this is the original. I wanted to find the lyrics for y'all. I thought it was cool. Mm. So Busta Rhymes had a song years and years and years ago. It was on the same album as Touch It, Bring It Back, Watch It, Turn It, Leave It, No Matter. Yeah, I know the one. It was on that same album. The song was called New York Shit. But Busta Rhymes has re-released a new version of the song called New York Knicks Anthem. I cannot play it because YouTube will strip it and flag our uh, video. But I thought it was really interesting. Let me see if the lyrics will come up on Spotify. I couldn't find them on the internet. The original lyrics were coming up. But I thought this was really cool that Busta did this, and I thought it was worth discussing. Let me see if I can pull up lyrics. No lyrics on Spotify. Um, so in the original song, he says, I'm on my New York shit. And this time he says New York Knicks. And he used lots of New York Knicks players and playoff references for this version of the song. It is called New York Knicks Anthem. And so I am going to assume for those who are going to jump in the comments after watching this, I'm going to assume that he has either A, some kind of deal with the Knicks, which would be really cool, or B, that this is Busta shooting his shot and saying, "Hey Knicks, take me and my song as your anthem, even if just for this playoff run." Now I know at the time of this release, the time of this live podcast, the Knicks just lost last night, and the Pacers are up 2-1. But I thought this was a really cool move by Busta Rhymes, way to use something old. Dash as you think this re-release cursed the Knicks because what the no, I don't think it cursed the Knicks. No, this actually came out on the 23rd. It did not come out yesterday. It's been out for a couple of days already. Um, that is too funny. When was Sunday? Was Sunday the 23rd? No, it was Friday. So the Knicks didn't play that day anyway. The Knicks did not play when this was released. They played after. They have played twice since then. They won one, they lost one. Um, that's your clown, yo. Anyway, so I don't know if he has a contract with the New York Knicks or if this is just Busta trying to get his shit off. They down 3-1. 3-1? I thought it was 2-1. Oh, the loss last night makes it 3-1. You right, dog. You right. Um, Thank you for that, David. Yeah, I don't know the answer, but um what's really cool is you hear him talking about the different Knicks players, some of the things that they've done during the playoffs. I think this was a very creative, smart thing to do, even if the Knicks do not accept it. Right now, people are looking up stuff about the Knicks constantly. The Knicks are a big, big thing right now because the Knicks have not made it this far into the playoffs in 25 years, if I'm correct. And so there's a lot of hype right now around the Knicks. Smart ass move, great way of inserting yourself into the New York Knicks conversation. And we have seen before where organizations will not be down with some shit until it takes off, goes viral, gets popular, and then they say, "Hey, like you want to sign this deal right here? We got a little deal. If you don't mind putting your signature, we could make this a real partnership." And so I think that's a smart move and very possible, especially if the New York Knicks win. I could totally see if the Knicks win, them embracing this, especially because I don't know if y'all have seen, but Busta been at the games. He been in his full New York Knicks outfit. You know what I mean? Head to toe, looking good with the big chain on. So he's not just putting out the record, but he's also there in support of the Knicks. And clearly the record is in support of the Knicks. But also showing up means something, and it kind of boosts your cultural currency in a way. So I thought this was really cool. I thought this was innovative. I thought this was smart. We haven't seen anything like this in quite some time, especially an entire record. I mean, people might come up with a little catchphrase. You might see Gilly and Wallow, with the big hat on at the Eagles game and stuff like that. But this is an entire record. Uh, Let's see how long this song is. And it's almost 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Now, that is what someone should say, "What the hell are you about?" I don't say that, but this is the question. Why is this 5 minutes? I don't know. That part might be the part that ain't so smart. I didn't even realize it's that long. But yeah. New York Knicks Anthem, Busta Rhymes, Swiss Beats, DJ Scratch. He basically took what was originally done something like 20 years ago and made it fresh and brand new. And let me just say, I see some of y'all in the chat, I'll get to in a second. Another thing I want to say is I think it's just really cool that you could take something from 25 years ago or 20 years ago, it's probably 20 years ago, and give it a brand new, fresh look. As an artist, that's smart as hell. Like to take something that's been old and outdated today and put a fresh new spin on it, that's really smart because not only are people probably going to bump this New York Knicks anthem song, they're probably going to go back and listen to the original New York shit song. So I think this is just really smart for many reasons on Buster's behalf. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. Dash says, I think it's dope when New York artists do stuff like this. Totally agree. Totally agree. Kia says, last year, Maker's Mark pulled the bandwagon trigger too fast. Ooh, what did Maker's Mark do? Tell us. Let us know. I'm not aware. I mean, I know what Maker's Mark is, but what they did, I'm not aware of. Let us know, Kia. Dave says, yup, great marketing. He knows it's some money to be grabbed because they have not made it this far in a long time. Remember, all they need is a 10-second clip from that 5 minutes TikTok. That's right, Dave. That's right. And it's also a smart way for them to put highlight reels with it. If I was Busta Rhymes, I would start putting highlight reels of the New York Knicks doing good, even if it is short clips like David is saying. And that would be a way to promote the song and further tie me to the New York Knicks organization by hook or by crook. If we named our episodes, this episode would totally be called By Hook or By Crook because that's like the second or third time I say it. So Kia, yeah, let us know, what did Maker's Mark do? Oh, and there it is. Kia says they did a collab and a special made bottle when they looked like they was gonna go far. Oh, yeah, they should have kept it. They should have kept it. This would have been a good time. That bottle would have went bananas right now. They probably would have sold crazy record-breaking numbers because the Knicks mania is nuts right now. Um, yeah. Also, last thing I want to say, I won't say who, but somebody sent me a clip of the New York Knicks after they won one of the games recently. It's New York Knicks fans. They were just being like, people were coming up to them with a camera and like, New York Knicks won, how you feel? And people were saying the most obscene things that I've probably ever heard. So many New York Knicks fans of all ages were inviting other men to the penis. I'm not going to say what they said, but y'all can imagine what I'm saying if your brain is working right now. They were getting up there and just naming Indiana Pacers players and telling them to, have a taste. Or saying they would, um, do things to them. And I was just like, wow, that is quite brazen to say to another man who you don't know, you never met, and don't know what that man would do to you if he finds you. Really, really weird. As a lot of penis talk coming out of New York Knicks fans in this video. It's like 1 minute and like 40 different people in the video. And more than half of them are probably saying, they're probably sending invitations to the penis. I think this is wild. And not a good practice. I don't think inviting men to the penis is ever a good idea. Um, Not a big fan of saying SMD or any of those things. I just was like flabbergasted when I saw this. I said, "Wow, is this what New York Knicks fans do? Do we just invite people to the penis? We just tell other men what we're gonna do to them with our penis? Wow. When did that start? Did I miss a memo? Because I didn't get this memo. Dave, did you get this memo? Dave, I know you a New York fan for a long time. Did you get this memo, Dave? Because I didn't get it. Maybe mine got lost in the mail. If you got it, Dave, let me know in the chat because I didn't get this memo. Kia says, yep. Dash says, fans are wild. Fans are wild. That's true, Dash. But I still feel like we got to have some kind of decorum. Nah, Naj says, shoot your shot, no pun. Yeah, shoot your shot is a little different than saying to a person you never met on a camera, you know, JD, MD, JD, I'll bend you over and blah, blah, blah. It's a little different than shooting your shot, you know, a little different. Janet Jackson, shoot me a text when you're in New York. That's one way to do it. But saying, such and such player, I'll do blah, blah, blah to you. Not really shooting your shot. Nah, not the same. Shooting your shot today is like sending them a snowflake emoji or something. Maybe even offering them, hey, next time you're in New York, I'll buy you a glizzy. But not like that. Let's go to the chat. David says, nope, not over here. David did not get the memo either. David did not get to tell everybody the SMD memo either. Naj says, yo, I needed this. Crying, laughing emoji. Well, Naj, we are happy to help. We are happy to provide value and entertainment. We're here all week. And so please tell a friend and come back. And so let's leave playoff basketball alone, as this is not ESPN or a sports podcast. Shout out to Busta Rhymes and the genius move that he just did with this song. And now let's go to something that I hold near and dear to my heart and something that is having lots of problems. There's a video game called, oh, David says, I mean, if you crazy talking like that, at least wait till after they win a ring. Way too early to be talking greasy. I totally feel you on that, because it wasn't even like they won the series. It wasn't even like they won and the Pacers are out. It was just, we won tonight. It's okay to be excited. Pero no pa tanto. Calm down, player. Calm down, ma. Easy, easy. But calm down, pa. Because it was men saying these things. They gotta relax. In the words of Nori, you gotta relax. So there's a video game called The Last of Us. A game I love and play all the time until my PlayStation died on me recently. And then there's a sequel, Last of Us 2. Great games. Dash says, yeah, that came out after they advanced. Very early. Yes, definitely. So there's this series of games called Last of Us, The Last of Us 1 and 2. And great games. I've played both of them a ridiculous amount of times. Love those games. It takes place in a zombie apocalypse. And there's a story of basically a guy and his adopted daughter, let's call it, as I'm trying to do this quickly. In the first game, he meets this young lady. He's literally hired to save this young lady and do certain things, but they develop a great bond to become like a father-daughter. So much so that he does some wild, crazy shit at the end of the first game. And how I word this on YouTube, deletes an entire hospital staff of people and the hopes of a cure. The idea is this young lady is immune to the virus and the bites of the zombies, and they are hoping to take this young lady and use her, DNA, her blood, her genetic makeup to create a cure for all of the remaining mankind. But this was going to happen. The only way for this to happen was to delete the young lady. And so the main character of the game, Joel, he does not let this happen. He eradicates an entire hospital staff and group of rebels who are trying to make this happen, called the Fireflies. And that's how game 1 ends. And in game 2, years later, the daughter of one of those hospital staff, of a doctor or surgeon, comes back and finds Joel years later. And in the beginning of game 2, Joel dies a horrible death at the hands of this young lady named Abby. And game 2 is basically all about revenge. Now, the young lady who was saved in the beginning of at the end of the first game, Ellie is now at a mad hunt to get revenge on Abby, who got revenge in the beginning of the game on Joel for killing her dad. And so one kills the dad. Abby gets revenge on Joel for killing her dad. And now Ellie wants revenge on Abby for killing her surrogate dad, kind of thing. Stepdad, new dad, whatever. And so that is the game. It's a crazy game. There's zombies, there's rebels, there's all this stuff. Great, 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 great game. Number 2 is super long, but very interesting. You get to play as both characters, Abby and Ellie, and see different perspectives of their lives and how revenge has fueled them and different things, yada, yada, yada. And so HBO decided to make a show a couple years ago of this. And in 7 episodes, they sped through number 1. Now, I said years ago when the first season came out that I was very confused because this is a post-apocalyptic show. This is a zombie apocalypse show, and there were barely any zombies. And even here on this very platform, YouTube, people were in the comments kicking my back in, saying that I did not understand the show. I must never have played the games because it's not about zombies. It's about the love of a daughter and her father and their beautiful bond. Yes, that is part of the story. But in the game, there are zombies trying to kill you. The whole fucking game. And you know what? People said I was wrong and people said I was full of shit. Well, fast forward, season 2 has come out. Season 2 just ended on Sunday, I believe it was. And there's a lot more zombies this time. I wonder why. Not only are there more zombies, but there's something that they totally took out of the first season, a specific thing that is all through the game, and it is in season 2. Quote, because fans wanted the spores so badly that we could not continue to leave the spores out of the show. So one, I was correct. Two, what I assumed at the time that people were going nuts on TikTok and YouTube dissing me, what I assumed was people who were watching this show probably were not people who played the game. Because if I'm telling you that it's a zombie apocalypse and you're telling me, no, it's not, well, then there's something wrong here. Because a virus breaks out in the beginning of the first game and turns everybody into zombies. And, like Planet of the Apes and everything else in this kind of situation, very few people are able to survive and be immune and yada, yada, yada. All right. And so HBO has looked to improve the things that we are talking about. They have looked to add more zombies and be truer to the game. That was one of the other complaints I had, which is that they changed a lot of things from the game. There was like a 2-episode stretch in the 7 or 6-episode show that had nothing to do with the game. They like took these random characters from the game and decided they were going to give us this life they were going to talk about their life, their love story. It was this beautiful relationship between two men. It was actually probably the best 2 episodes of the series, but they put all of their powers and all of their focus into those 2 episodes, which had shit to do with the game. Were they characters from the game? Yes. But they decided that we needed to know who these people were. Whatever. Fast forward to season 2 finale. I'm going to pull up a screenshot here for y'all, and I'll try to put it on the screen so y'all can see it, but I'm also going to read it to y'all. It says here, oh, where's this from? I like to cite my sources. Oh, this is from IGN. They do lots of video game and TV stuff for those who don't know. It says here, The Last of Us Season 2 finale had 3.7 million viewers in the United States, a figure HBO insists, quote, will grow significantly due to low viewing levels over the Memorial Day holiday weekend. It also says viewership was down from the record 8.2 million who tuned into the season 1 finale. Now, I would like to let y'all know that this is also cap. This is also BS. This is a lie because viewership has already been down since season 2 started. It was not only the finale. Viewership has been down. Why? Because I told y'all in the beginning of the second game, the main character dies. Joel dies. And who plays Joel? Anybody in the chat know who plays Joel? He is America's zaddy. He is America's beloved father right now. Father in quotations. He is Grogu's father. He is Ellie's father. And soon he will be Franklin Richards' father. And anyone guess in the chat who plays the main character in this HBO show? Anybody got a guess? I've given you some clues here. Just give y'all a second to see if anyone's got an idea who plays this character. Dashing D says, I'm thinking. Yes, Dash, yes. Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal is the reason this show is popular because he's a good actor, and right now he's all over television and movies. He's number one. They love him, and that's great. A topic for another time. But if you're watching the show for Pedro Pascal, if you're watching the show for Joel, he dies in the beginning of season 2. Guess what happens? You don't want to watch it anymore. You don't want to watch it anymore. Listen, when I was a young lad, when I was a young warthog, okay, I used to watch Power Rangers. And I remember when I thought they were going to kill Tommy, the Green Ranger. I was a young lad, upset. I was crying. And you know what I said to my parents? I said, I'm not going to watch this anymore. I don't want to see this anymore because they're killing the best character. They're killing my favorite. And I went and got a bag. I'm dramatic. I went and got a bag and started packing up all my Power Ranger toys. I was fed up. I was done. I said, I can't take it no more. That's what's happening today. All of the adult grown up people who did not play the game didn't know Pedro Pascal was going to die. And so they are watching and they're upset because they didn't know he was going to die. And so the person they tuned in to watch it for no longer exists, only in little flashback tidbits. And so they're upset and they don't want to watch. The other reason they don't want to watch is because HBO has done an abysmal job of casting. They chose someone who looks like a teeny tiny 12-year-old to play this character, which you might could have got away with the first season because it was a young lady. But the second season is like 5 years later. So this person cannot look like they're 12 anymore. This person is a person people don't really know in the TV and movie industry. They're just a person who got the role, but they're not a person who people are going to watch over and over and over again. It's not somebody who's like a lead role kind of person. So now this is the lead character of the show. People don't want to watch that shit. Furthermore, the person who's supposed to be Abby is not a good casting person either. I love the actress they chose for Abby. But in the video games, Abby looks like a stud. One of the twists in the game is that she is actually in love with a man and has a weird love triangle with the man and his wife. Abby looked like a bodybuilder. She's cock diesel, as we used to say when I was a young lad. And in this show, because they got this skinny, scrawny little 12-year-old looking person to play Ellie, they now had to get a skinny, scrawny looking person to play her counterpart, Abby. Neither one of these people are entertaining enough to carry the show. Neither one of these people have enough acting power, enough of a fan base, enough skills to be the leading role. Not that I'm saying they cannot act, but they're not connecting with audiences in that way. So viewership has been down since he died, and viewership will continue to be down. In fact, now Rolling Stone just put out an article that says season 3 of Last of Us will either make or break the show. Is it coming back for a season 3? Yes. They ended season 3 with 2 cliffhangers, which is kind of weird. And I don't know why people are calling them cliffhangers because if you play the game, once again, you know what happens. Which is why I continue to say, I believe most of the people watching the show, including the people writing these articles, did not play the games. Because it ends where maybe Ellie died, maybe Ellie did not die because Abby shot at her. And oh no, did they kill Ellie? We don't know. We know we played the games. Now, if you didn't play the games, you don't know. And that's why I keep saying, I don't think these people who are watching the show were playing the Last of Us video games. I don't. It doesn't seem like they did. And it doesn't seem like there are enough people who are playing the games, watching the show, because HBO is struggling. Furthermore, last thing I'll say, the writer of the show has come forward and said, actually, we kind of realize now we're going to need 4 seasons to fully tell this story. We thought we could speed through it in 3, 3 seasons. But actually, we now realize we will need a 4th season to fully and properly tell the story. Sorry, HBO. I'm not sorry. And I wish y'all did this differently. Yeah, I should have done better casting. Yeah, I should have paid more attention. And I will give them credit. I've been watching someone do reviews of the TV show season 2. It seems like he is mad late with America's Zaddy. Yes, he is America's Zaddy. Um, um, uh, to their credit, they have done a great job from what I have seen in the clips of the review channel I watch to make season 2 a lot more like the video games. There's lots of screenshots that you could put side by side where it is exactly in the show what's happening in the video game. But it may be too little, too late. Let's go to the chat. Um, Dave says never played the game. Dave, it's great, and if you got a PlayStation, you should play it. Great games. Kia, America Zaddy, crying, laughing emojis. Yes, Kia, that's what they call him, America Zaddy. I did not make that up. I don't even use those words. Dash says that's tricky. The writing should be good enough to satisfy both audiences. Yeah, but it also has to do with casting. You have to be able to cast people who can draw in the audience. And Pedro Pascal can do that. But when you killed Pedro Pascal, which is what's supposed to happen, and your audience doesn't know it's supposed to happen, then it gets tricky because you need a strong enough supporting character, a strong enough supporting actor to carry the game, to carry the show on. Sorry. Here, crying, laughing emojis. Emojis. David said the show is cool. Not a fan of how annoying the main character is sometimes. You're talking about Ellie, right? All right, Dave, you're talking about Ellie. Let me know so I can respond properly. Dash says, crying, laughing. I remember he was everywhere when the show first coming out. He's still everywhere. He is who plays the Mandalorian, a very popular Star Wars show, probably the most popular Star Wars content out right now. There's even a movie coming out, and he is going to play the main character in that movie. He also will be playing Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movies. And he's going to be in MCU for quite some time because they have said that the Fantastic Four we are going to be introduced to will be the Fantastic Four of the MCU for the long haul. And then he's got this HBO Last of Us show. So he's everywhere, and most of the relationships you see him in Mandalorian and Grogu, um, Joel and Ellie, and soon Reed Richards and Franklin Richards. It's a dad and kid relationship. And so he is America's favorite dad on TV, I guess. I don't even know, but whatever. They call him America's Zaddy. Uh, David says, yes, Ellie. Okay, so that is accurate. Ellie is supposed to be an annoying teenager who hates life and also has like almost survivor's remorse situation because Ellie cannot be infected. And so she hates that. First, she's got to keep this secret in the first game, in the first season. She's got to keep this secret, and she hates that she is in this position. She's lost friends and she's still here and all this stuff. She's got like that kind of vibe. And then in season 2, she's like angry at Joel in the beginning before he dies because he revealed to her that he saved her life and killed all the people instead of having the cure happen. And so in the second game, it's kind of like she doesn't have a purpose until Joel dies in the beginning of the game. She's trying to figure out what is life now that my purpose. What up, Tez? I see you, player. Listen, better late than never. You know what I'm saying? Late still counts. I appreciate you, brother. So Ellie is purposeless until Joel dies. She's trying to figure out what is life. My purpose in her brain was to give the world the cure, no matter what she had to do. She would have sacrificed herself, and she's angry at Joel for not letting that happen. So she's kind of just gloomy and has no purpose until Joel dies, and then she's just fueled by revenge and decides that no matter what she has to do, how many people she has to lose, she's going to get revenge for Joel. So that's what happens there, Dave. Um people are annoyed by Ellie, but that's the point. she's supposed to be annoying. Remember, also Ellie is a teenager, right? In the second game, she's a young lady. She's like 18, but she's still a young person trying to figure out life in this weird post-apocalyptic state. So her being annoying in the show is accurate. She's a knucklehead. She's selfish, and she's not really used to a lot of things. Also, in the games, she's new to civilization in the way that Jackson is. Jackson and this huge community that is Jackson, it's not what she's used to. She grew up very isolated, and so she doesn't really understand societal norms, quote unquote, because it's very different. Then there's a lot of things that are just new and weird to her, even in the second game. Um, so all of those things are accurate actually. But this is a good example of what I'm saying. See, Dave didn't play the games, so Dave is criticizing things that are actually straight from the game. And that's not a bad thing. You just didn't play the games. And so this is what's happening at large with this show. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about Last of Us, their struggles, HBO's fumbles, and also to toot my own horn, toot toot, and say I was right. So everybody who was criticizing me on TikTok and on YouTube, fuck you, man. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show. It's actually went a little longer than planned, but it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow right here at 7:30 once again. Hey, Dash. Oh, Dash is late. Supposed to say bye. Oh, they must be giving her the meds at the recovery house. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dash, adios. We will see you tomorrow. And pray for Dash, for those who believe in those types of things. We wish Dash a speedy recovery. Hopefully tomorrow she'll be able to say bye. Adios, ladies and gentlemen. Just give this a second in case there's a delay. All right. And we're done.